All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, ChangeCars. Our name says it all, whether you're looking to sell, need advice, need finance, or need insurance. ChangeCars has you covered. In this week's episode of All Things Motoring, Mike attends Cars in the Park Pietermaritzburg, and Ernest attends Honda Day in Cape Town. This is a show full of nostalgia and pride.
This is our third straight year at Cars in the Park Pietermaritzburg. 23 was amazing, 24 was incredible, and 2025 we believe is going to take it to another level. Cars in the Park Pietermaritzburg has got a new sponsor, Standard Bank. To have an organization like Standard Bank get involved, what does that tell you about this incredible event? It tells you they're doing something right. How do we know that? Look around you. There are going to be 15,000 people here today. Every year, similar cars, but there's always new entrants, and that is what truly excites me. It's well known that we've got the privilege of being sponsors of Cars in the Park in Gauteng at Swartkops Raceway, 3rd of August, two completely separate events of the same incredible magnitude. What are we going to bring you? The usual, great weather, great cars, and great interviews. When one thinks of collectible Datsuns from the 70s and 80s, something that definitely doesn't come to mind is Datsun Pulsar, but behind us, the most unique, one owner, 1983 Datsun Pulsar with very, very low kilos. What are the kilos on this?
60,000.
That is incredible. Now, this car's got a very special story. It took you a while to buy it. Tell us about that.
It's an old friend of mine. It took lots of coffees, lots of teas and cakes and biscuits. And I said to him, Mr. Wickham, the day you can't drive anymore, this baby is coming to me.
Amazing. They say in Afrikaans, aanhouer wen. Now I know what it takes, coffees and teas. Now, you are a collector.
Yes,
This
I
is not
am.
the only vehicle you got.
No.
What else have you got?
I've got a 59 Common Gear, the list that just goes on.
But now the 59 Common Gear is probably one of the most sought after, rare collectibles today. But getting back to this Datsun Pulsar, what did it take for me to buy this car from you? A miracle?
I don't know. Not for sale. Not for sale.
You heard it there, but let me tell you, what you see on screen probably doesn't even match what you see in reality. It is absolutely immaculate. Jerome, well done.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thanks, Jeremy. Thank you very much.
We've all heard the term built like a Sherman tank in reference to the incredible machines that were used by the Allies and the Americans in World War II. Behind us is the engine that powered one of these Sherman tanks. Everything about it is monstrous, huge, you name it. 16 liters, 9 cylinders, 300 kilowatts to be exact. There's so much more to share about this vessel. I can't even begin to tell you. So we're going to hand it over to the expert because it's noisy and there's so much to share.
The Continental R975C4 was a variant of the Wright R975 Whirlwind, a 9-cylinder air-cooled radial engine originally designed for aircraft but later adapted for armored vehicles. During World War II, Continental Motors produced the R975 under license, with over 53,000 units being built for use in tanks like the M4 Sherman and the M18 Hellcat. The R975C4 remains a notable example of wartime engineering, bridging aviation and ground combat applications.
Something you don't see every day? Not quite. This is something that you truly will never see. Rajesh, you've got the only unique 1947 MG TC Special. You've got to share the story.
Okay, so I've always had an MG. I decided in about 2019, I want to build the ultimate MG for myself.
Something so unique
Something
that has
so
never
unique.
been seen.
Yeah. So this chassis, I bought this chassis just alone. There was no car.
That's incredible.
So this starts from no car. And I built this purely by looking at pictures. It's completely scaled by my eye.
That is incredible, Rajesh.
I have never touched another car that looks like this. So there's no specific measurements. If
Now,
you
when it
ask
came
me-
to a choice of color, let me ask you a question. You had a choice of two, Ferrari red or British racing?
British Racing Green all the way.
Absolutely.
This is my third MG in this color.
So after this incredible interview about this most amazing car, there's only one thing left to do, and that is take it for a drive. He's driven it many times. It's right-hand drive. I'm on the right-hand side. Guess who's driving?
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tazio Nuvolari, Giuseppe Farina, Alberto Scari, the absolute legend that is Juan Manuel Fangio. In the 40s and 50s, this is what you would have been driving. You're legends of the past. I'm fortunate enough to live in the present. To Norman Ewing and the MG Club, incredible. What your members do, how they love your brand is absolute standout and a testament to what the club is about. Nothing gives me greater pleasure than saying we're talking to a friend of the show. Taz, you are truly a friend of the show. I look at that warm smile. With your car collection, I can understand why you've got this incredibly warm smile. Behind us, the newest car in the collection. What are we looking at?
It's a 1954 single Roadster. I've been after this car for like 3 or 4 years from Cape Town. Eventually, I managed securing it last year.
When you want something, you get it.
The owner passed away about 6 or 7 years ago, and his son advertised it on Facebook. Anybody interested in vintage cars? Eventually, we did a deal with him. I said, you know what, I'm taking the chance, no paperwork. We'll see what happens.
And if that didn't happen, we wouldn't have been able to do this interview, or would we have? Because behind us is another special story. The year is 2025, but a short 100 years ago, this beauty behind us was made, and this beauty is owned by you. Again, got to share the story.
So this car was owned by my uncle. He just had it parked in a warehouse, not running, collecting dust. And he eventually passed it on to me. And I've eventually got it running. And I've done a lot of research on this car. And eventually I found out that this car won Car of the Year in 1967 in Durban. And then in 1968, there was the Veteran International Rally held in South Africa from Cape Town to Durban. And this car won its class.
Now, we spoke about a car going to a good home, and I truly believe that. If you've got a special baby, it can be from the 80s, the 90s, older or newer, and you want to sell it, you know we'd be interested. Alternatively, if it's in the 30s and 40s, Tash, you'd be interested.
Definitely.
Always an absolute pleasure speaking to you. The warm welcome is so appreciated. Wishing you and the team the very, very best.
Thank you, Mike.
Coming up after the break, Ernest brings us all things Honda.
What's the place where you should never put your finger?
Wedding ring.
All Things Motoring is owned and brought to you by CHANGECARS, South Africa's trusted online platform. Trusted because with CHANGECARS, fly-by-night dealers are not welcome.
It's Honda Day 2025 and I'm here at Killarney for an event that is always well attended, rain or shine. Today we'll be checking out the drag racing, checking out the show and shine, and Honda South Africa is also here to support the event. Let's have a look at Honda Day 2025. I'm standing here with Fayaz. Fayaz, you have an interesting job that you do. Because Honda Day is not just about four wheels, it's about two wheels, anything Honda related. And behind us, we have a Honda motorbike. I don't know what it is. What is it?
So this is Honda's 2024 XL750 Trans Alp.
Okay.
One of the dual
Trans
purpose.
Alp.
Yeah, Trans Alp.
Sounds cool.
It is cool. Very, very cool bike.
Why do you have it?
So I'm currently a Honda Wing Ambassador. So Honda sends me their bikes to review.
What's happening, Snapshot family? As many of you know, I am partnered with Honda SA and they've given me this beautiful Honda Africa Twin.
You know, bikes have changed tremendously over the years. It's not just the engine and wheels like it used to be, get on and ride. There's so much technology, features, all sorts of different things that you can experience while riding. And I basically film a review and I tell people what it's like to ride something like this.
So you talk about the heated
grips, traction control, ABS, wheelie control. You get a DCT bike these days.
Wheelie control?
You get wheelie control on bikes, yeah. There's bikes that I ride, if you get on the power too quick, the controls, electronics kick in, puts you in a safe situation, and people don't know about these things, you know.
Wow.
Bikes can be dangerous, but they design it they design it in such a great way these days to make it as safe as possible for any rider out there.
Wow. So you say you review these bikes for which channel is that?
So I've got a channel called Snapshot Media. It's a YouTube channel that covers motorsports, anything with wheels, bikes, cars, your racing, all sorts of things. Yeah, it's a very good race driver that I'm standing with here.
Thank you for that, appreciate it. Well, this is a very good bike rider that I'm standing with now, so much so that he's part of the Honda Wings program. Watch out for Fayaz in the future.
Thank you so much.
There's a lot that can be said about that badge and that badge over there. And for more about that, let's throw to the voice in the sky and discuss all the generations of Civic Type R.
The Honda Civic Type R has steadily gained popularity in South Africa, delivering high-performance thrills across multiple generations. While early Type Rs, like the EK9 and the EP3, were unavailable locally, South African enthusiasts first officially experienced the badge with the FN2 model. Later, the turbocharged FK2 marked a turning point, introducing a new level of power. The FK8 further cemented the Type R's reputation as a track-focused machine, while the latest FL5 continues to push boundaries with refined styling and impressive performance. Ernest maintains this could be the best front-wheel drive performance car on sale today. The Type R remains a coveted name among South African petrolheads, blending racing DNA with everyday usability.
It's not often that you get to a car event and you bump into the president of the company. I'm standing here with the president of Honda South Africa. When it comes to Hondas, you've been a massive fan of the brand. Please tell us your story of your first Honda.
Oh, my first Honda, it was a used car. It's 87-year model Honda Accord. Honestly, I wanted to buy a Prelude, but I couldn't afford at the time. But the shape is quite similar.
Yeah.
The Accord at the time. Yes. Then I bought a Honda. This is my first experience of Honda.
And there's lots of Accords here, lots of tuned Accords here as well, as you can.
Yes. I'm so amazed and so impressed of the enthusiasm of the customers and love to Honda.
So have you always owned, have you owned many Hondas in your time?
Yes, all the time is just Honda.
And now you're the president here in South Africa.
Yeah. I feel so great honor to be here.
Well, we are honored to have you here and have you in South Africa and at this event.
Yeah,
Thank you.
brilliant.
Few events attract manufacturer support like a Honda Day event. Just take a walk through the parking lot. Well, folks, that's it from me here at Honda Day. We'll see you guys next year.
Coming up after the break, Mike wraps up his day at Cars in the Park. Did you know? Honda officially entered the South African market in the early 1970s, initially focusing on motorcycles before expanding into automobiles. In 1974, Honda had begun assembling motorcycles locally, quickly gaining popularity amongst commuters and enthusiasts. Models like the Honda CB750 became well known for their reliability and performance, solidifying Honda's reputation as a leading motorcycle manufacturer in the country. Honda's V4 motorcycles have had a fascinating journey in South Africa, tracking back to the early 1980s, when the brand introduced its first V4-powered road bikes. The VF series, including the VF750 and the VF1000, gained attention for their innovative liquid-cooled 16-valve engines, offering a balance of performance and reliability. Despite early setbacks with camshaft wear, Honda refined the V4 platform, leading to legendary motorcycles like the VFR 750F and the RC30, which became favorites among South African riders. Over the decades, Honda continues to innovate, introducing models that cater to both urban riders and adventure seekers, maintaining a strong presence in South Africa's motorcycle industry. Looking for a vehicle warranty? Look no further. CHANGECARS has partnered with VAPS SA, proudly powered by King Price Insurance. CHANGECARS, the brand the public trusts with good reason.
Often you hear me talk about friends of the show. Why do I say friends of the show? Because the success of this show is down to you, our followers, our audience. And when you get fans like Nolan who take the time to introduce himself to you, phone you and send you a gift, a Cortina Life t-shirt that I still cherish. Talking about Cortina Life, we're going to bring a Cortina to life. Behind us, the most incredible 1976 Cortina 3-litre V6. But Nolan, to you and your team at Cortina Life, you're doing an amazing job. If you want to follow them, you follow Cortina Life, and you will see why these guys are super special. When it comes to Cortina and Sierra, you get the 1.6 and 2-litre engines. Then you get the performance maniers. In the Cortina, it was a 30S and the XR6. Going over to the Sierra, they also carried over the XR6. And then you get the real big boy, the absolute standout, the one you never see, the XR8. Barlin, you've got to share with the audience about its beauty.
Yes, thank you. I've had this car around 20 years now.
20 years already.
My brother-in-law was quite a Ford man, and he was on a business journey to Pretoria, and he stumbled upon this gem. There's like 254 of these were made to get it as a commercial street vehicle.
Correct. So what's incredible, if you think the 5-litre V8 in today's terms, you're going to think of 250, 300 plus kilowatts. Do you know in 1984 what the kilowatts of this was?
Yes, it was around 160 kilowatts.
100%. It was 160. Now, that number at the time, that was the manier of engines.
It was the big boss. As you say, nothing could match it. Very few could match it at that stage.
2 years ago, I imagine this car looked amazing. Today, I think it looks even better. Barlin, speaking to you. I'm honored, I'm humbled, and wishing you the very, very best.
Thank you for having me.
What do I know about a brass band? Very little. What do I know about a motor show? A lot. What an incredible motor show. To the organizers, every single time you put on something better than the previous year. Soon you're going to hear me chat to Amanda Lowe, part of the organizing committee. The year is 2023 and we are invited to our first Cars in the Park, Pietermaritzburg, invited by Amanda Lowe. Fast forward to 2025, 3 straight years. Amanda, if I say to you, I saw in 2023 something exceptional, 2024 even more so, but 2025 just has that added flair. What is it that's changed this year?
Absolutely. No, this year has been phenomenal and I think our turnout has just been, it's been amazing. And again, thank you so much for joining us this year. It's so wonderful to have you guys.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. Now, you see so much when you come here. By my counting, this makes this the 49th. Next year, 2026, what is in store?
50 years. It's been, yeah, pretty much the longest running show of its kind in South Africa. So I think like we've done this year, bigger, better. I can only imagine onwards and upwards from here.
When the VSCC says bigger and better, you know they mean it. One question, you've got to say immediately yes or no. Are we invited for the big 50th?
Most definitely yes.
So to all involved, absolutely well done. To Standard Bank, a big shout out to you. There's nothing that resonates with me more than giving back to the country that supports you. So if you recall, last year I had a very important interview and I said to Trent, I think one day you're going to be a presenter on the show. And what did you say?
I'm 6.
You're 6? But last year you were 5. What happened? You had a birthday when? When was your birthday?
The 20th of May.
But that was like just last week.
Yes.
And was it a big party?
Yes.
What did you do?
Went to Spur, the new one at Hilton.
No ways, the Spur in Hilton. To Spur, you made a young boy smile, but if there's one thing that you and me have got in common, we both love Formula One, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And who is our man in Formula One?
Max.
Max Ver?
Stopping.
Is he going to win the world title this year?
Mm-hmm.
You really think so?
Yes.
And what do you think about McLaren? Because they're like really, really strong, but is Max just so much better?
Mm-hmm.
So what
Max is way better.
Max is way better. Say Lando Norris, tell the camera, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, you do not stand a chance. Say, you do not stand a chance.
Oscar Piastri and
Lando Norris,
they don't stand a chance to take over Max.
Young man, next year when you're 7, we're doing this again?
Mm-hmm.
Big 5. Good man. If you want a guaranteed future classic, it's a Chevy Lumina SS Ute on your screen right now. However, every story has a starting point. Next to me, the year is 1973, the Chevy El Camino, available in the 4100 straight 6, and the incredible V8. This was a V8. What was a V8 synonymous for? It wasn't fuel consumption, so allow me to explain. I believe this car could easily do 300 meters on a liter of fuel. Stand out? Not quite. Cars in the Park 2025 is coming to an end. We always say, tick the boxes. Let's name the boxes. The weather was absolutely perfect. Sunny and beautifully, just warm enough. Love the hoot, this is what it's about. Then the cars, you're seeing it with your own eyes. And the people, what can I say about the people that attend? The fans, the exhibitors, they truly make our day. This was the 49th event. Next year, 2026, I call it the big one. Are we looking forward to being here? No question. I hope you will join us.
We at All Things Motoring appreciate your support and interaction. And if you'd like to show some love to the show, head over to our website and click on the Fans of the Show tab. We would love to hear from you. Here is the screen top tip of the week. Don't ignore warning lights. They're not just there for decoration. If your dashboard looks like a Christmas tree, it's time to take action. Before you buy a second-hand car, screen it. It's what smart people do. Coming up next week, Mike attends the East Rand Motor Show. and Ernest attends Simola Hillclimb 2025. This is a show filled with high octane and legacy.
Last year you interviewed me.
That's right.
And now I'm going to interview you.
Okay, what's your question, young man?
So, do you support Max?
Do I support Max Verstappen? Who doesn't support Max Verstappen?
There's a lot that can be said about that red Honda badge and the, oh, me rather just... Okay.
Is there anybody that couldn't relate to Johnny Clegg? All Things Motoring, a music show or a TV show or a motoring show? Who cares?
All Things Motoring is proud to be the official sponsor of Cars in the Park 2025. Brought to you by POMC. Cars in the Park, an annual favorite held since 1980, is, without a doubt, the biggest event of this nature in the country. More than 2,500 vintage and classic vehicles are on display by more than 100 clubs and private individuals. Following on the incredible success of 2024, we believe that Cars in the Park 2025 will be even bigger. We invite you to be a part of this incredible event. Applications for stalls in the market and at the track are now open. Need any motoring advice? From where or what to buy or where to sell? Visit the All Things Motoring website and click on the Advice tab to ask Mikey. All Things Motoring is brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, CHANGECARS. Our name says it all. There is no safer online vehicle platform. That's not an opinion, that's a fact.